Hi Kopites, welcome back to my Facebook DMs Q&A. This is episode 3. So I've got a few more questions here I want to go through for my followers on Facebook. So let's have a quick look. So question number 1, who's been Liverpool's best signing under Klopp when you consider value for money? So this one was done quite a while back, obviously, and it's a difficult one for me. I mean, if you're talking value for money, you would have to say Philippe Coutinho. I mean, we paid 8.5 million for him from Inter Milan, and I thought he was a fantastic player. Scored a lot of good goals. And I remember when he was about to leave to go to Barcelona, and Jurgen Klopp said to him, if you leave, you'll just be another player, another squad number. If you stay, you'll become a legend and they'll make a statue of you. And that's always stuck with me ever since. I mean, as we know, he went to Barcelona for around about 146 million. So we made like 130-something million, 138 million profit on him. So, I mean, if it wasn't for that sale, would we have ever got Alisson and Virgil van Dijk? Because that's basically what Jurgen Klopp spent the money on, didn't he? So I would say Philippe Coutinho, but let me know in the comments, who's your most valuable player under Jurgen Klopp? Question number 2, what's the worst signing of the modern era? I'm guessing this is to do with like the last 10-15 years, I would guess. So I'm going to go back to 2010 to present. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's Andy Carroll for me. 35 million. Didn't do a great deal. Wasn't value for money. Always injured. I just don't think he wanted to come to Liverpool. I think I read somewhere, you'll have to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I read somewhere that he actually said that he didn't want to leave Newcastle. He was basically forced out because of the money situation. But yeah, to answer that question, I would say Andy Carroll. Question number 3. Who's the most underrated Liverpool player of the last 10 years? Wow. That's a really good question, isn't it? Because over the last 10 years, we've had some great players. I made a video today, actually, about one of them, and that's Adam Lallana. I made a video about him on my What Are They Doing Now series. I thought Adam Lallana was a fantastic player. He was a key player for Jurgen Klopp, wasn't he? You've also got James Milner. I think he was a fantastic player for Jurgen Klopp. But if I was to pick one underrated player, Joe Matip, maybe? I mean, we got him from Schalke for free, didn't we? And I thought he was fantastic. Him and Joe Gomez were brilliant together, weren't they? Him and Virgil van Dijk. I thought he was a brilliant player, and to get him for free, you can't fault that, can you? So, next question. If you could bring back one ex-player into the current side, who would it be? So I'm guessing this question is about any generation. So again, this is a really difficult question, isn't it? Because you could go back to Alan Hansen, Kenny Dalglish, Steven Gerrard, Roger Hunt. You know, there's been some great players in the prime. To bring them back now and put them in this current team, the way I'm going to look at it to make it more realistic, I'm going to go Alan Hansen, because Alan Hansen was a fantastic centre-back. And I think we're short of centre-backs. I think if you could bring Alan Hansen in and play him alongside Virgil van Dijk, he would lift Virgil van Dijk's mood back up again. And can you imagine Virgil van Dijk and Alan Hansen at the centre of our defence right now? Unbelievable. So my choice would be Alan Hansen, but only because of the situation we're in right now. We'll do one more question for this episode. Let's have a look. Let's pick a good one. There's one here that says, and this was a couple of years ago, and it says, who do you think the club needs another big name signing next summer? So this was sent to me in 2024. No, sorry, the 23-24 season, so it would have been 2023. So as we know, in 23-24 season, trying to think now, who did we sign in the 23-24 season? I can't remember who signed. If we're going back to 2023, do I think that we needed to sign somebody in the summer of 2023 for the 23-24 season? I would say, trying to think who we actually signed in the summer of 23. I'd have to do some homework. Basically, all I've done is I've picked up my app and looked at it. Let's have a look who we actually signed before I answer that question. LFC summer signings 2023. So we signed Alexis McAllister, Dominic Soboslai, Wataru Endo and Ryan Gravenberg. So do I think in that summer we should have signed another player? I would say yes. I would have liked to see us sign a defensive midfielder. I know we signed Wataru Endo, but when he first came, not many people knew a great deal about him, did they? I would like to have seen us sign a defensive midfielder. Maybe a Martin Zubamendi or who else we were looking at? And see, my memory's that bad, I can't remember who we were even looking at in 2023. I can't think off the top of my head, I'm sorry guys, but my brain's just not working. As you know, I've been quite busy over the last few days doing my KOA hub app, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I would say defensive midfielder, and I would like to have got Martin Zubamendi. Possibly as well, maybe another striker, because we only really had Darwin Núñez, didn't we? I mean, we had Diogo Jota, but he was more front three, wasn't he? He could play anywhere across the front three, and he was more or less a bit part player, wasn't he? But yeah, I would say if I could choose one big name signing, I would go for Martin Zubamendi from the summer of 23. But who would you have gone for? I think that's a really good question, because as we know, it was Jurgen Klopp's last season, wasn't it? And we were doing a midfield rebuild. I mean, I know we signed McAllister, but he's not really a defensive midfielder. We signed Wataru Endo, but he was more backup, wasn't he? I don't think he was ever seen as a starting 11 player. And then obviously Dominic Soboslai, he's definitely not a defensive midfielder. Ryan Gravenberg, when we signed him, wasn't signed as a defensive midfielder, was he? So really, the only defensive midfielder that we had back then was maybe Tyler Morton, Pachetic, and Endo. You know, who else did we have that could play defensive midfield back then? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm not really sure I've done a very good job with this video, but like I say, I don't do any revision. I just do everything off the top of my head. Go with the questions and hit record, basically. But if you haven't already, please go and check out the KOA Hub. If you'd like to support the channel or the Hub, the link is in both the video description and also on the Hub as well. Again, thank you to everybody that has supported my projects. But that's it for now. Take it easy.